No, 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 no.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to another exciting episode of Vin Plays Fantasy Football. So this is going to be my week 2 starters rationale or starters dilemma. I'm going to talk through who I'm going to start. And let's go ahead and start off with the players that I picked up on waivers here. I ended up grabbing Gardner Minshew. I pretty much put like a $2 or $3 bid or a 3-fab bid. I think it was 3-fab. Bid on Gardner Minshew because, as you recall, Jared Goff is our quarterback here, and we are a little insecure about how he's going to perform in the future and how well he's going to do. And Gardner Minshew here did throw a bunch of passes during the last game, and he was super accurate. And their team is going to be bad and behind for pretty much the whole season, where is what most analysts think. So if he's going to be throwing a lot of passes, then he's going to be putting up fantasy points. So we grabbed him. We ended up grabbing Mike Gesicki, and we ended up grabbing Tony Pollard. Let's go ahead and let's look at the league here. Let's look at the transactions tab and see what happened, because I did put in bids for other players as well. Let's go down here. Okay, here we go. Yeah. See, so it looks like Blue Balls. Pardon the team name. But it looks like Blue Balls picked up Naeem Hines for 20 fab. I ended up putting about a $15 fab on him, $15 bid on Hines. I really didn't think I was gonna get him though. It was more of just a bid, just so we weren't giving him away to any team. So it's like I really didn't expect to get Naeem Hines. I did put a $5 bid on Benny Snell, but it looks like we are outbid here as well by it's going down. Joshua Kelly, I did put a claim on, but I didn't put any bid on him. It looks like BC Boys grabbed him for 9. And then Henry Ruggs, I didn't put a claim on, but yeah, $6 there. Corey Davis, $3. That's not too bad. Corey Davis did have a good game. The only thing is, it's like there's years of history there with Corey Davis where he'd have good games here or there, but overall he's been a major bust since he's been in the NFL, I should say. And there's our bid for Gardner Minshew for $3. We ended up dropping Eric Ebron for him. Philadelphia for Tennessee. Okay, Logan Thomas. We did make a bid for Logan Thomas as well, but it looks like we didn't make a bid, but I put a claim for him and we didn't get him. But here's Mike Gesicki, so we ended up dropping Mike Gesicki for Blake Jarwin, and we picked up Tony Pollard. Who else is here? Okay, Marlon Mack was dropped. Robbie Anderson was picked up from Brandon Ayuk, which is a good pickup. That's a really good pickup. I didn't put a claim on Robbie Anderson. I'm pretty sure we're good on wide receivers, particularly since our starters are Devontae Adams and Robert Woods. But yeah, that's the rundown of what happened during the waiver period here. Looking through our lineups, I'm not sure I'm going to change much anything. We are going to be starting Jonnu Smith against Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a really bad defense now. They are years away from Saxonville now, so excuse me. So they should be. I'm fairly comfortable with starting Jonnu Smith there, and particularly since our other tight end Mike Gesicki is against Buffalo, so Buffalo is a really good defense. But as I think I talked about last time, Devontae Parker is banged up. Although I read on RotoWorld this morning that Devontae Parker did practice, but he still might be hindered during the games. So I don't expect Mike Gesicki to do like superbly or too well, but he still has a good opportunity to be a difference maker on that offense. Looking at otherwise on our lineups, I think I'm pretty much going to stick with what we have. I'm tempted to start Marquise Brown against Houston, but I'm not sure who to start him over because we have Robert Woods here, and Robert Woods is against Philadelphia, who has a notoriously historically awful secondary. So Jared Goff is going to be passing to, and it's particularly after the last game too. It's Robert Woods killed it during Game 1 against Dallas. So I don't want to swap him out for Robert Woods. The only other guy that I can think of is Raheem Mostert against New Jersey, but Mostert he had a great game the last game, and they gave him a ton of work too. So I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. I might swap him out for Marquise Brown for Mostert, but right now I'm kind of leaning towards Mostert. Otherwise, everybody else has a so-so matchup here. Zach Moss has a decent matchup against Miami, but I think I like Mostert more than I like Moss in that situation. Antonio Gibson, we're in wait-and-see mode with Antonio Gibson. He didn't show us all that much during the first game against Philadelphia. David Montgomery. Again, he didn't really show us much, although he did look healthy from what I've heard or what I've read. But the only other dilemma that we have is more or less Jared Goff here. Gardner Minshew has less of a against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is probably better than Philadelphia's right now. But I think Gardner Minshew is going to be throwing a lot more passes. The thing is with Jared Goff, though, it's like he's up against Philadelphia this Sunday. But Philadelphia has a really good run defense. So like we talked about last time, how the Rams were able to run against Dallas. So Jared Goff didn't really need to throw. But if Philadelphia could stop the run game, which they could, it's well within the possibilities that Philadelphia will stop the run game. Then Jared Goff will need to throw, and so he'll be throwing more passes. And it's not inconceivable that he could throw maybe 2 or 3 touchdown passes in that game. The only thing is, he stunk it up. He stunk it up pretty bad the last game, and I think it was Gardner Minshew playing last Sunday. He was playing at Indiana, which isn't an awful defense. But we're going to be thinking about who we want to start there too. That's another dilemma that we have between Jared Goff and Gardner Minshew. Going up to my matchup, I am playing against Blue Balls. Blue Balls, my buddy here. He is projected to win by a significant margin, by about 6 points here. I actually made a claim too. Let's go back to that real quick. I'm trying to drop my defense, the New England defense, for the Los Angeles Rams. Somebody dropped the Rams. I believe the guy who picked up Logan Thomas dropped the Rams for him to open up a spot for him. So the Rams are playing the Washington football team. So I'm looking to drop New England. I'm kind of sorry to drop New England, but there's nobody here that I really want to drop for him. I guess I could drop Pollard. We'll think about that. But looking at New England, though, it's like this game they're playing against Seattle, and Seattle tore it up the last game. So I really don't want to play New England against Seattle. New England, that is. Even if they're a pretty good defense this year, they're definitely going to be worse than last year just because of the turnover that they had over the offseason because of a plague. Because there was I want to say 5 or 6 key guys in their defense that opted out of this season because of plague. So, and then furthermore, looking at the schedule, it's like, okay, the next game, they could have a good game against the Raiders there, Las Vegas Raiders, but then they're up against Kansas City, which you're definitely not going to want to play them against Kansas City. And then they have a decent matchup again against Denver. But then afterwards, it's a bye and then San Francisco. So it's not looking good. Buffalo, even, it's like New Jersey, you could start them. And then there's more high-powered offenses. They don't really have good matchups here. And you know what? If I think against some of these high-powered offenses, like there's a good chance that I'll be able to pick them up again against Kansas City if they turn out to be good, or like San Francisco. But I'm not holding my breath for that. So I ended up making a dollar bid on them. I should probably pick that up. Maybe I'll put a $2 or $3 bid on there. But I think I'm only going to be using them for one game though. I'm not sure. Can we stream let's check real quick. Can we stream the Rams defense for multiple games? Let's take a peek at their schedule. Okay, so the Rams, Dallas. I'm sorry, not Washington. They're playing Philadelphia. That's right. They're playing the Eagles, and the Eagles tore the F up offensive line. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm mixing teams up here. So they're playing the Eagles, and particularly watching Washington just chase down Carson Wentz. Aaron Donald is going to destroy that O-line. So yeah. So we want the Rams for this week. But it looks like for further streaming, Buffalo, I guess, wouldn't be an awful stream. Yeah, it wouldn't be so awful, but they are a good team. We wouldn't mind starting them against New York, or Washington. Yeah, after Buffalo. Well, actually, we might just, if we grab them, we might just start them for the next 3 games. San Francisco, we don't want to start them at. Chicago, I wouldn't mind, and then Miami, and then they go into their bye. So yeah, this might be a good purchase. I'm probably going to up my bid for them. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into my matchup here, or our matchup. I'll include you on the team, our matchup. And it looks like we're going to be, it's like we're not projected to win here. Blue Balls does have pretty good starters. His starting lineup is pretty good. I'm not exactly sure about his bench. He's not particularly deep. Although he did pick up Naeem. Did he pick up Naeem Hines? I thought he picked up Naeem Hines. Oh, he's starting him. That's why. Okay, there you go. So he did pick up Naeem Hines, and I think he picked up Brown too. Yeah, Malcolm Brown, which was a waiver wire hotness as well. I talked about it a little bit last episode, but Malcolm Brown does look like the best back on that Rams team as of right now. But anyways, and his starting lineup does look solid right now. Allen Robinson is disgruntled on that Chicago team. I read that he took all the Bears, all references to Bears, his team, the Chicago Bears, off of his social media. So I heard that he also asked for a trade. He's looking for a new contract, and they haven't reached an agreement with the Bears. So I still think he's going to play, and it would still behoove him to play well and not like tank or anything like that. So he's going to play well. Juju looked pretty good last game. Ben looks okay. So if Ben's going to be throwing passes, Juju will be fine. And against Denver, I'm not too worried about that defense, particularly with Von Miller gone. Derrick Henry is going to do well. Ronald Jones, he looked good last game, and they will probably, the longer the time goes on, they will work in Leonard Fournette more. But I think he's fairly safe now with only being in the second week of the season, and Leonard Fournette still getting used to that system and that team. So he definitely has a better. Ronald Jones, Ronald Jones is a solid start, I think, for week 2. And then we have Jared Cook here, who's Michael Thomas just went down, so it's going to be, the targets are going to be in the air, and it would not be surprising to to have Jared Cook get more passes and even more fantasy points than he had last week, which was pretty good. Let's see, yeah, he had 10 points last week, so that could easily go up as well. And then Justin Tucker is probably the best kicker in probably the best kicker in football right now. And Baltimore defense is the Baltimore defense. But they are playing against a better offense here with Houston, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not feeling super optimistic here. I might just go with Gardner Minshew. We probably want to go with our upside guys here. I'm not sure who has more upside, Raheem Mostert or Marquise Brown though, because man, Mostert does have that speed, and like we talked about during the last episode, that 76-yard catch and run, he could do that like whenever, especially the way that Shanahan schemes up calls his plays. He's just so good at getting his guys open. But that's the situation as it stands right now. I'm not feeling too good about this week, but I guess we'll see what happens. So thanks again for watching another episode of Vin Plays Fantasy Football, and I'll see you next time.